We're going to do a medium Sudoku, and I'm going to show you how to solve Sudoku using my system, which is very simple and very methodical. It's got different stages to it. The first stage, we go through all the numbers from 1 to 9, and we see if there's any places where we've got a row. We've got 3 rows here, 3 rows here, for example, 3 rows here. We're looking for 3 rows where we've got 2 of that number, so we've got 1 there and we've got a 1 there, which means that in this square here there'll be a 1 somewhere in those 3 digits, and what we want is to find a 1 coming across to block that one out, to leave only 2. So there we've got only 2 places where the 1 could be, and then we put it in one of the corners. I'm going to start with the top left corner in every case, doesn't matter which corner. So that 1 can be there or there, and that counts for that square, but it also counts for that line. Next, go along here and just cross them over and double check that there isn't anywhere where you've got just 2 squares. We haven't there, we've got those 2 and that one. Same here, go across and down, it leaves those 2 squares and that one. So we only do this when there are 2 squares, either adjacent or with 1 square between, not diagonally, not at a nice move. Always like that or like that, and we'll see others as we go along. So now we're going to look for number 2. We've got a number 2 there. We don't have another one going along in that row with it. Same with this one, there isn't one going along, but look where they cross. This number 2 blocks out that those 3 can't have it in, and this number 2 means that those 3 can't have it in. So actually that 2 is solved, it's there. And that gives us one of these situations again when we've got that row, which means that the other 2 has to be in this row. There's no other 2, so it's going to be one of those. It's going to be that one or that one. We'll just put it in the corner. And we can cross-reference that one with that one. It doesn't narrow it down to 2. Only if it narrows it down to 2 do we actually write it in. So again here, 2 now with that 2 that we've written in, which means that this 2 is going to be in one of those 2. So we go 2, 2 in those 2. Okay, I think that's the 2's done now. So let's move on to the 3's, if there are any. Sometimes there isn't any of a certain number. So we've got a 3 there. We've got a 3 there. It looks like there's only 2 3's in the whole puzzle. So let's just look at where they intersect on that box. It gives us a 3 there, there, or there. So we can't do anything with that. But there's another intersection here. 3 and 3. That does give us a 2 box there. So let's put the 3's there. That 3 is going to be there or there. Can't be there or there because of that one. Can't be there because of that one. So we're left with just the 2 squares. Now on to the 4. 4 there, and we've got 2 possibles there, but the 4 is already blocking one of them out. So that means the 4 must be here. But look, there's a 2. There's the alternatives of the 2 being there or there, so the 2 is going to have to be there now. We'll come back to the 2 later. So let's continue with the 4's for now. 4, 4, 4. Now that 4, 4, 4, that one is finished, that lot. Here we've got 4, 4, which means this one's in the middle. Can't be in that one, so it's going to be that one. It looks like the 4's are possibly going to be solved. 4, 4, and then this one will be one of those 3 up there. Can't be that one. Can't be that one. It's going to be that one. That is the only square that doesn't have a 4 intersecting with it. See that? We've got 4's going down there from that one, 4's going up there from that one, 4's going across there from that one, and 4's going across there from that one. That's the only square that can have a 4 in it. The 4's are all solved. Sometimes I just write the numbers down that are solved, so I don't have to think about them anymore. Now look at 5. 5 there, 5 there, which means the other 5 is in one of these 3. Well, there's only one left, so we can write it in. That gives us a block of 3 here. That can be useful as well, but I'll show you a bit later why that can be useful. Again, 5 there, 5 there, 5 at the top there, so it's going to be one of those 2. So let's just put it in the top corner. And that's all we can do with the 5's. 3, 3. Oh no, it isn't. We've got a 5, and a 5, and we've just written that one in, so it's going to be that one. Which means that we can go 5, 5, and 5 like that, and see the way that's that 3 there. Well, the 5's going to be in that square as well. If there's going to be a 3 in one of those two and a 5 in one of those two, then that means that between those two squares you have a 3 and a 5, which means both squares must be 3/5, 3/5. That means the 3 and the 5 can't be in any other squares here, which means to all intents and purposes we can consider these two squares as filled in with the 3 and the 5 when it comes to working out what the other squares are. And that is a very important concept because it also applies to this line here. This line now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 8. So only 6, 7 and 9 will be in these blank squares. So that's a very important concept I want you to grasp. So there we are with the 5s. And I think they're finished. Funny enough, we've got no 5s actually completed here. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. We've just got a pair of them there and a pair of them there, and this one is a trio. So we can't get any further with those for now. 6s now. 6, no other 6 down here. But here's where this group of 3 comes in handy. Because it can't be in this group of 3, there's no 6 in there. We know that the 6 must therefore be in this row here. And if the 6 is in this row here, then this one must be in this row here. So again, we look for a 2. So that's 6, and it's going to be in that row, but there's a 6 here blocking out that one. So it's going to be that one or that one. And then this column here, the 6 will be in here, in that column there. We don't need to write anything down. I'm just doing that to show you. I wouldn't normally write there unless I'm really stuck. And I think, unless we've got a cross over here, we've got a 6 there and we've got a 6 there, but that leaves an L shape of 3, which is too many to write anything in. If there's more than 2, we don't write, because it makes it too confusing. Now look at the 7s. 7 there, which means there's a 7 in that one there, the only one that doesn't have a 7 intersecting it. The 7s don't go vertically, but again, with block of 3 doesn't have a 7 in, which means the 7 is here in this row. And if it's in this row for that one and that row for that one, then it's going to be in that row for that one, and it's only 2. So we can write it in the corner, just in the corner, the 2 7s. And that means that down here there's no 7s. Okay. That's the 7s done. 8s, we've got an 8 there, we've got an 8 in these 3 here, and an 8 will be in here, and the only one left for it is that one. That gives us a row with an 8, a row with an 8, which means that the top row will have an 8 here. Can't be the left-hand one because of that. So again, we can write it in 8, 8. Now, this one, 8, can't do anything. Well, yes, we can actually, because look, if this 8 can't be in those 3, it leaves those 2, so we've got down to 2 again, by virtue of this large L shape. Now the 8s are finished, as far as we can solve them for now. When we go around a second time, we can solve even more. We've got only 2 9s, that one and that one. So look at where they intersect. They intersect there and there. That doesn't narrow us down enough. It narrows us down to 3 possibles. It's not enough. They also intersect on this square here, though, don't forget. So again, yep, just gives us 3 possibles. So the 9 is not solved. Now, where you've got these 3 rows, remember what I said. So here's 3 with 1, 5, 7. So look for a number that's not in those 3. There's a 2 there, for example. So the 2 isn't in there, so it has to be down here. We've written that one in already. Again, the 4 isn't in that one, so it must be there, which means that the other 4's here, but we've solved that already. So there's nothing there to gain from that, but this is how we do it. Here's another one. Let's see if we can do it with this one. 6, 4, 2. Okay, there's an 8 there. Can't be there, so it must be... Oh, well, we've got the 8. 4, 2, 5, 7, 2, 4, 5. 5 can't be in... No, no, no. So we can't do what I wanted to demonstrate with that there. Did I show you the 1, 5, 7? I don't think I did. With 1, 5, 7, we've got 2, we've got 4, we've got 4. Yes, I think I did. And 2, 4, 5 is the other one. 2, 4, 5, 8, 4, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2. No, can't show you what I wanted to show you. Looking for a number that's not in there that we haven't yet got to the information level that we want. Now, start to look for rows that have started to fill up and squares that have started to fill up. But it's more likely you're going to find rows at first. This row, for example, only has 2 squares left in it. That's great, because it means we're going to get these like 3535, we're going to get that situation. The two numbers, we want to get these to just one number slash another number. That's what we're always trying to get to. So you can see there's no 1 in there. Now the way that I do this is I mentally count and then I go out loud when I don't see a number. So mentally counting, I'm going to use my low voice to signify what I would be mentally counting, and then I'm going to do a high number to show you where I would be counting out loud. So just imagine when I'm saying it low, I wouldn't be saying it, I'd just be pointing at the number, and you'll see what I mean. This is how I do it, okay? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I've said that 1 and that 9 out loud, and they were stuck in my head, and so now I know. Okay, so what I would really do is I go 1, 9, like that. So we got 1/9 there. We got 1/9 there. Now I wouldn't write it in normally because there's a 1 there already, so it's already solved. That means that the 9 is there and the 1 is there. But I wrote it in for you. That is what I would do if it wasn't yet solved. And here now we have another one with 2 squares. So again, we're going to do it again. We're going to count only out loud the number that I don't see in that row. So it's going to be 3, 6, 3, 6. Oh look, there's a 6 there. So this one must be the 3, and this one must be the 6. Okay. Now this column here has 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers missing. However, this pair here is the 7s, so actually that leaves only 3 numbers. So forget about the 7s. Imagine that they're a bold number like this, because for these 2 squares that 7 won't be there. And then we've only got 3 numbers for those 2 squares, you see? So we can do that. There'll be an easy way. There's an easy way to do it as well, which I'm sure you've spotted, but that's how we would do it. We'd go 1, 3, 9. So it's 1, 3, 9 for these. But there's an easy way of doing it, because look, the 9's in that box, and there's actually only 2 squares in the box. So if we look at it as a box, it's only 1 and 3. So let's put it in 1, 3, 1/3, 1/3. Similar thing here in this box here. That 6 won't be in that box. So we go 7, 9. So this is going to be 7 or 9. Can't have the 6 in it because it's in one of those 2. And we just scan across to see if there's a 7 or a 9, to see if we can do it now. And if we can't, we just leave it for now. That's fine as it is for now. See, things are getting a bit thin now on opportunities. But what you're going to find is that some of these other numbers are going to start to come to fruition. Like, for example, we know now that the 1 is one of these 2, because we've got 1 and 3 there. So now we can go 1 will be in that row, 1 will be in that row, 1 will be in that row, and that's a 2 again. So we can now start to write it into the corners. And the 3 as well. 3's are in that one, 3's are in that one. So this is a 1/3. If that's a 1/3 in those 2, this must be a 7/something else in those 2. So let's count it again. 7, 9. So it's 7 or 9. Again, I wouldn't write it in normally because I see the 9 there. That's going to be the 7. That's going to be the 9. Oh, look, and there's the 9. So let's go 9, 9, 9 on that bottom row. We've got a 9 there, so we can write that 9 in to those 2. How about the 7? Is that helping? The 7 there, the 7 there, and the 7 being there. So I know, because we've already got something there with the 7 going on, but nothing much. So as soon as you write in new numbers, start to look at how they work, how they reflect. So we've got 7s and 9s that came in. We've got this 1 that came in as well here, didn't we? So we've got 1 in along there, 1 along there, which means the other 1 is going to be along there. Well, we had already agreed the 1 would be one of those 2. So if it's along there, it's going to have to be that one. So just cross out that little one so it doesn't distract you. I'd be using red ink normally to start with, but you're not going to see it on the video clearly. But I would normally start with red ink. In case I make a mistake, then I can go over with a darker colour of ink. So we've got the 1. That one's going to be there, that one's going to be there, that one's going to be one of those 2. 1, 1, 1. Those ones are complete. We can't really do much more with the 1s. Let's go. I don't think the 2's have much information yet, do they? We've got the 2's there. Oh, we've got a 2 there, actually. So, oh yeah, we've written that in. Okay. 3, did we get to 3? Did we redo 3's? Can't remember. 3. Yeah, we can't go anywhere with the 3 by the look of things because it's all alternates, and that will just change it to the other alternate there, and the other alternate there, and there's room for them to go in any up or down there. But 3 there, that's a new 3, which means that this 3 5 3 5, the 3 is going to be there and the 5 is going to be there, so it lines up with that 3 there. So let's write that in, 5 3, and after we've written it in, have a look across and check for any other pairs, these slash pairs that we've done, to see if there's anything else you can do that with. We've got the 5 5 5 now, that's good. We've got that 5, no other 5s on the ups. 3 3, the 3 will be along the bottom there, but there's no other 3 information there. That row's looking a bit full. Let's have a go at it. 6 7 9. 6 7 9. So there's a 9, so that's going to be 6/7, so we can get a slash in there. And what about here? 6 7 9. No, we've got a 7 9 there. This will be a 6 7 9. This will be a 6. Oh, wait a minute. The 3 numbers, we've got 3 squares here with unknowns, and 3 numbers that will fill it, 6 7 and 9. But if you look here, there's a 9 there, so that means this one will be 6/7, so we've got a slash in there. We don't have one in there, so we can't get a slash in there. An alternative number. I'm calling it a slash because you put a slash there like that. Okay, now let's carry on. Here's another thing you can do. You see, we've got 8 8 there and we've got 5 5 there. So if we were, say, looking at this square to work out what might be in this square, we can consider that it won't have an 8 in and it won't have a 5 in, so we can count those numbers as if they're solved. So again, we will count through out loud with the numbers that do not appear anywhere along this line. So we will start counting aloud those numbers only. 1 2 oh sorry, no. 1 2 3 7 So it's 1 2 3 7, wasn't it? And then we look down here, we also look in the square, 1, so it's going to be 2 3 or 7 in that square there, so that actually doesn't help us a great deal. We do it with this box as well. Again, 1, that 8, we can discount from these 3 squares, so let's try that. 2 3 6 7, so 2 3 6 7, and look across here, there's a 7, there's a 2, 6, nope, not enough information. Let's try along here. 4 6 7 9, 4 6 7 9. Well, there's a 4 and there's a 7, so we've got 6 9. 4 6 7. Hang on a minute. No, there's the 4 there, so it's just 6 7 9. So 6 7 9, and so here's 6 7 9 as well. Oh yes, we did already say that, didn't we? We haven't got that there with that yet. Okay, what about this little square here? 2 7 8. Oh look, there's a 7 8 there, so then the 2 must be there, which means that this is going to be 7 8. I can't see any crossed there, so let's just write it in. Ready? And that means that the 7 and the 8 are catered for in that column when we look at it as a column. There's an 8 outstanding there. We can't have the 8 there because there'll be an 8 in one of those, so the 8 of those 2 alternate 8s must be there. Also, 8's going to be there, 8's going to be there, so 8's going to be there, it is already. Also, 7's going to be one of those 2. 7's going to be there, which means 7's in the middle row with that lot, and it's not in that one, so 7 is going to be that or that. So that box is filling up with alternates, and as long as there's a blank square, at least one blank square left in there, all those alternates are not in that blank square, which means we can go 1 2 6 So 1 2 6, that's all that can be in that square there. There's a 2 there, there's a 1 there, crossing, so it's got to be a 6. Look at that. And that looks unsolvable, that square, but we've solved it. And there's only one number left in that row there, which is going to be the 2. I can see that straight away, which means that it's going 2, 2, which means there's a 2 up here. Got a 2 there, so it's going to have to be on that one. And that means that we've knocked out that 5. The 5 have to be there. When we knocked that 5, we knocked out a 7, so the 7 has to be there. You see how they cascade? Now we've got this row. It's missing a 1. Just chuck it in there. And this now is going to have 2 alternates. One of them's a 1. 1, 9. So it's a 1 or a 9. There's a 1 there, so that's going to be the 9 there. That's going to be the 1. This column is missing a 9. Let's chuck it in there. This column, I said it's got the 7, 8, so there's going to be 2 other alternatives there. So we've got 5, 6, 5 and 6. There's a 5 there, so that's the 6. That's the 5. Start looking across for alternates that they marry up with. 7s, 9s, 6 and 7s. 1. There, 1 and 3. There's a 3. There's a 1. It doesn't seem to cascade to anything else. Sometimes they do, but we also have a hole here. 6. And now we've got 3, 7, 8. So here is 3, 7, 8. There's an 8. So that's 3 or 7. These are all going to be 3, 7, 8. Actually, all these squares are 3, 7, 8. There's a 7 there, so that'll be 3, 8. And that one's not got any of those numbers in it. Okay, let's carry on. Yeah, this one along here has only got 2. Oh no, it's got a 1, 3 there. Let's try it anyway. 2, sorry, what am I talking about? 1, 1, 3, 6, So 1, 3, 6, I heard. 1, 6 there, so that's the 3. Which leaves us with just, wait. Ah, well, there's a 1 there, so the 1's going to have to be there, which means the 6 is going to have to be there. Okay, so now we've got alternates here. 2, 9. 2, 9, and there's a 9 there, so that'll be the 2 there. That'll be the 9 there. There's a 1, 3 there. We've got a 1 in there. Got written in there somehow. 6 there. There's a 6, 7. And there's a 6. Oh, that's a 6, 9 there. Oh, but there's a 9. So there's a 6. Wonder where the 9's going to be for that lot then. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go along here. 9. That'll be the 9 for that row there. Looking down, there's a 7/9, so that becomes a 7. There's a 6/7, so that becomes a 6. Looking across here with that 7, there's a 7/8, so that becomes an 8. There's 7/8 above it, that becomes a 7. This row now, 8. There's an 8. There's a, is that a 3, 8 at the top there? I think that says 3, 8 there. Not quite sure. Can't quite read it because of my eyes. But it looks like we've got a 2 and a 3 missing from this row here. Well, there's a 2 there, so yeah, I'm going to say that that was the 3. We were actually able to double check that one, and that means that the 2 will be there. Remember, we had no 2s at the beginning. We had like 1, I think. 3, 7 there, and we put the 3 there, so the 7's going to be there. Just one number left in here. 8. It's an 8. In fact, it was there in the corner. I saw it there just as I did that. And here again. 3. Yeah. See my number system, when you count in your head like that, it does reassure you that you've got the number, because you have to count all the others. 9. And that puzzle is now completed. That is a medium one on the London Metro. So you now know how to do a medium puzzle on the London Metro. Let me know what you thought of that help. And also look in the description for a link to the playlist which has nothing but puzzles.